Hey, wonderful people. Today we will talk about the fascinating world of land titles in the Philippines. All right, let's start with the basics. Ever wondered what happens when you register a property? Well, registration to the Registry of Deeds isn't about acquiring ownership. It's about confirming it. Think of it like this. You've got a shiny certificate that says, "Yep, this land belongs to you." Note, ownership is not the same as registration. Non-registrable property, land of public dominion. But here's the kicker. Some lands, like those in public domains, can't be converted to private ownership, no matter how much you register them. Yep, even if it's on paper, it's still public land. Example, Chocolate Hills or Mount Apo cannot be considered as a private land. Understanding Torrens Title? Now let's talk about the Torrens system. It's like the superhero of property registration, bringing stability and protection to registered ownership. But remember, it doesn't automatically make the land private. But here's the kicker. Just because you have a Torrens title doesn't mean it's immune to challenges. Anyone can contest it if they believe there's a flaw in the ownership claim. So, let's dive into how one can contest a Torrens title. Contesting Torrens title. First things first, if you're contesting a Torrens title, you need solid grounds to stand on. It's not enough to just say, "Hey, I think this title is fishy." You need concrete evidence to back up your claim. Grounds for contesting Torrens title. Contesting based on fraud. One common ground for contesting a Torrens title is fraud. If you can prove that the title was obtained through deceit or misrepresentation, you might have a case. But remember, you'll need strong evidence to convince the courts. Contesting based on error or mistake. Another ground for contesting is error or mistake. This could include clerical errors in the title or inaccuracies in the survey. If you can demonstrate that there was a genuine mistake in the title, you might have a shot at contesting it. But here's the thing. Contesting a Torrens title isn't a walk in the park. It's a legal battle that requires time, resources, and expertise. So, before you decide to contest a title, make sure you're prepared for the journey ahead. Mirror doctrine? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the rightful owner of the home? According to the mirror doctrine, a buyer can rely on the face of a certificate of title itself. But there are exceptions. If the seller isn't the owner or in possession of the land, you might want to dig a little deeper. Case illustration, innocent purchaser for value. Let me illustrate this with a case. Imagine you're buying a piece of land from someone who claims to be the owner. They even have a certificate of title. But little did you know, they're not the real owners. Turns out, the land was never theirs to begin with. In this case, you're not considered an innocent purchaser for value because the seller wasn't the rightful owner. So, always do your due diligence. Now let's tackle reconveyance. Picture this. You've been deceived into selling your land. Well, reconveyance is your knight in shining armor, bringing back what's rightfully yours, even if it's been more than a year. It is a remedy to recover a property invalidly acquired. Now let's zoom into the registration process. It's a roller coaster ride of surveys, approvals, and publications. But remember, it's all about making it official and binding to the whole wide world. Registration process. So, how do you register a title? First, you need to hire a licensed geodetic engineer to survey the land and prepare a technical description. Once the survey is approved by the director of the Land Management Bureau, you file a verified application to the regional trial court. Court hearing and decree issuance. After publication and any potential opposition, a hearing is held where you'll present evidence of your right to the land. If all goes well, the court will issue a decision, and the Land Registration Authority will issue a decree of registration and the Registry of Deeds the original certificate of title, assailing the title. But what if you want to challenge a buyer in bad faith? Well, in that case, you have options. If it's within a year of the issuance of the decree, you can file a petition for reopening and review. Beyond that, you can pursue an action for reconveyance within 10 years. And remember, if you ever find yourself in a sticky situation where someone else claims ownership of your land, don't panic. Seek legal advice, gather evidence of your rightful ownership, and defend your title with all you've got. Adverse claim and list pendens? They're like warning signs on the road, telling you to proceed with caution. They are claims against the property annotated at the back of the title. Case illustration, list pendens. Let's delve into a real-life scenario. Say you're eyeing a piece of land for purchase, but there's a pending lawsuit involving the title. That's where the lease pendens comes into play. It's a heads up that there's a legal battle brewing over the property, and you might want to hold off on that purchase until things are resolved. And that's it. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to owning a piece of land. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay curious.